What's up YouTube, Zero here, and today I have an amazing Dialga EX, Gholdengo and Skarmory deck in Pokemon TCG Pocket. In this video, I'll go over the deck build that you can see on the left hand side of the screen. I'll talk about each of these cards individually, and I'll talk about why all of these cards combine very well together to create an amazing metal deck in Pokemon TCG Pocket. Before I get into it, I do want to say if you do enjoy this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more Pokemon TCG content. There's a new pack just on the horizon, so be on the lookout for a lot more deck builds. If you do enjoy this video, give this a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more Pokemon TCG content. I have a bunch of other video games, so feel free to check those out as well. Really excited about the upcoming packs that are coming out. So finishing off some packs that I've created in the previous deck, in the previous decks, and then I'm going to be creating a lot more new ones with the release of those packs. Without further ado, let's talk about this deck build. First, let's just talk about the facilitator of the deck, Dialga EX. And Dialga EX is a facilitator of a lot of different decks. For those of you who don't know, Dialga EX has its first move for 2 Metal Energy, Metallic Turbo. For 30 damage, you also take 2 Metal Energy from your Energy Zone and attach it to one of your benched Pokemon. So this works really well in a lot of different decks, especially when you're trying to build up energy or metallic energy on one of your benched Pokemon. And it does work really well with your Gholdengo that I'll get to in a sec. But I do want to say you can unlock a Dialga EX or find a Dialga EX in the Space Time Smackdown packs. So be on the lookout for that in the Space Time Smackdown packs if you are looking for a Dialga EX. Next, I will talk about the Gholdengo and the Gimmighoul combination. Of course, the evolution chain of Gholdengo. So first, Gimmighoul, for 1 colorless energy, so it doesn't matter what deck this Gimmighoul is going to be in, you get Chestoflage. Flip a coin. If heads during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage from and effects of attacks done to this Pokemon. So if Gimmighoul is in that active slot, you have an opportunity to prevent damage to your Gimmighoul. In reality, if you are having to put your Gimmighoul in that active slot, you really want to take it out as quickly as possible. In this deck combination, you're either going to want Dialga EX in that active slot so you can turbocharge any Pokemon on the bench, or you're going to want Skarmory in that active slot so you can deal some sneaky damage. You're not going to want your Gimmighoul in that active slot. It's just not going to benefit you, especially because your Gholdengo really needs to be charged up before evolving from your Gimmighoul to your Gholdengo to really make it work. So if you're starting with your Gimmighoul and it's in the active slot, I recommend getting it out as quickly as possible into a Skarmory or your Dialga EX. But let's talk about your Gholdengo. So Gholdengo, you get its move for 3 energy, 1 metal, 2 colorless, so 50 times. Flip a coin for each metal energy attached to this Pokemon. This attack does 50 damage for each heads. So it's similar to Celebi. You try to equip as many energy on this Pokemon as possible. You can flip the amount of coins equal to the amount of energy you have, and for every heads you're going to be dealing 50 damage. This is absolutely insane. After being metallic turbocharged, you can deal a ton of damage. You just saw there that I was able to deal 150 to a Palkia, ending the battle and winning it. So it can be extremely powerful when charged up with enough energy. Maybe you'll get lucky. You do have 3 energy equipped before you can attack. So maybe you'll get lucky with those 3 energy and you get 3 heads and you can deal 150. Or maybe you'll be unlucky, but the more energy you have attached, the more likely it is that you're going to deal a lot of energy. If you have 10 metal energy equipped, and we're going with a 50-50 chance of flipping coins, you're going to be likely to flip for 5 heads. So 5 heads times by 50 is going to be 250 damage. You're going to be able to KO any Pokemon in the game. So it's great to have Dialga in that active slot, charging up your Gholdengo so you can get as many metallic energy on it as possible, and you're going to be able to KO a lot of Pokemon in the game, if not all of them, depending upon how much energy you have on your Gholdengo. Let's talk about the last Pokemon in this deck, and it's going to be Skarmory. So Skarmory, of course, is a great Pokemon. It can do a lot of damage to your opponents, and your opponents aren't going to even realize it. I actually did a ton of damage to a Mewtwo Giratina deck with Skarmory while they were charging up because of Skarmory's attack. So Skarmory for 1 Metal Energy does Metal Arms. It's 20 plus. If his Pokemon has a Pokemon tool attached, this attack does 30 more damage. So that's extremely powerful. 50 damage for 1 energy. That can be sneaky good, especially with Pokemon that only have 150 HP or less. That means in 3 hits, pending upon your opponent having any healing potions or healing trainers, you can KO a Pokemon with 150 HP or less in 3 attacks. So if that Pokemon needs 3 energy to attack, you may be able to KO that Pokemon before it can even equip all of those energy. I love Skarmory, not just in this deck, but in a lot of different metal deck combinations, just because of how sneaky good it can be if you can get a tool attached. I enjoy equipping Rocky Helm on it just because if my opponent does decide to attack, I'm doing even extra damage. With that Rocky Helm, I'm not now doing 50 damage, I can do 70 if my opponent is attacking. So that's absolutely awesome, being able to deal 70 damage to start the video, because I am completely decimating my enemy. 70 damage if they attack. Well, there are a lot of Pokemon, especially EX, that have 140 HP or less. So now we're getting to a point where I may be able to 2-hit KO an opponent if they are attacking me. So that's great as well. Now, Skarmory and Gholdengo, of course, these are 2 great Pokemon to pair up with Dialga in general. Well, if you're looking for a Skarmory, the one I am using is a promo, but the other Skarmory can be found in the Space-Time Smackdown packs as well, just like the Dialga. Your Gholdengo is actually a more recent Pokemon. Your Gholdengo and your Gimmighoul can be found in the Shining Revelry packs. So those are the Pokemon. Let's talk about the cards that pair extremely well with those Pokemon. We're going to go with some of the basics first. Let me just talk about the basic cards that you're going to need. Professor's Research, Pokeball. Of course, these 2 are pretty much staples in any deck currently. It's Professor's Research, you draw 2 cards so you can get through your deck and to the cards you need as quickly as possible. Pokeball is great because it puts a random basic Pokemon from your deck into your hand. So if you need your Dialga or if you need your Gimmighoul, you can draw those out of your deck so you can play them on the bench and get them going as quickly as possible. So those are definitely needed in this deck. Rocky Helm and Giant Cape. I have 2 Rocky Helms and 1 Giant Cape. I always prefer Rocky Helm on Pokemon that are setting up, so Skarmory and Dialga, because 1, it deals extra damage to the opponents if they do decide to attack. 2, it can play as a deterrent. Some enemies may not want to attack if you have a Rocky Helm on because they don't want to take that continuous damage. So it may buy you a little bit of time. That's why I like the Rocky Helm. One is going to be on Dialga, the other is going to be on Skarmory. Giant Cape adds 20 HP to the Pokemon that it's attached to. So adding 20 HP to a Pokemon is going to be fantastic, but in this case, it's going to be even more fantastic on Gholdengo. So being attached on Gholdengo is extremely important because Gholdengo only has 120 HP. a lot of EX Pokemon are going to be able to one-hit KO this Gholdengo. Putting the extra 20 HP are going to allow it to survive a couple of EX Pokemon that are pretty prevalent. Giratina deals 130 damage. Arceus, if it does have a full bench, deals 130 damage. So there are a couple of Pokemon that you can prevent one-hit KOing Gholdengo, which is going to allow it to potentially KO those Pokemon. What's even better is because Gholdengo isn't an EX Pokemon, it's not going to be affected by red. So those opponents can't pull out a red and deal extra damage. Now, of course, they could have a Giovanni, but because of red, a lot less people are running Giovanni right now. So being at 140 HP is going to allow Gholdengo to kind of be out of the reach of a couple of EX Pokemon that are extremely prevalent, which is why I like a Giant Cape in this deck. Cyrus is going to be there for opponents not to hide their weakened Pokemon on the bench. For those of you who don't know, Cyrus, you switch in one of your opponent's benched Pokemon that has damage on it to the active slot. So you're not going to have to worry about an opponent hiding a Pokemon on the bench, so you can get to those weakened Pokemon. Cyrus is going to be in the Space-Time Palkia packs. And your two tools, your Rocky Helm is going to be in the Space-Time Palkia pack, and your Giant Cape is going to be in the Space-Time Dialga pack if you are looking for those. Last but not least, I like Team Rocket Grunt in this deck. Now, you could probably play with this a little bit. Maybe you don't like Team Rocket Grunt as much. Maybe you want another trainer card in there. I like Team Rocket Grunt in here. So, for Team Rocket Grunt, you flip a coin until you get tails. For each heads, discard a random energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. This is nice because it can slow down your opponents. And when you're trying to build up energy on your Gholdengo, your Dialga's in that active slot, your Gholdengo's on the bench. I'm trying to build up as much energy on it as possible so I can flip as many coins as possible. Slowing down my opponent is going to be crucial. Team Rocket Grunt has the capability of doing this. Of course, with the law of averages, flipping coins, really, two Team Rocket Grunts combined, you're going to get rid of one energy. But sometimes you get lucky enough to get 2 or 3 energy gone, and this can be crucial to building up energy on your Gholdengo on the bench, slowing down your opponent as much as possible. Sometimes even 1 energy is enough taken away from your opponent to slow them down to a point where they're not going to be able to build up the energy they need while you're building up the energy you need so you can take them out. So I love Team Rocket Grunt on this team. Last but not least, Dawn. Gholdengo isn't the only way to win a match with this deck. Skarmory can win a match, Dialga can win a match, or Gholdengo can win a match all by itself, depending upon how much energy you're able to get on it. But Dialga can be sneaky. If Dialga's in that active slot with 2 energy on it, and it's been turbocharging Pokemon on the bench, perhaps you do want to deal 100 damage with your Dialga. So what Dawn is going to do is it's going to surprise your opponent. For those of you who don't know, Dawn, move 1 energy from one of your benched Pokemon to the active Pokemon. So Dialga's extremely powerful move, or powerful move, it's not that powerful, it deals 100 damage, but it's heavy impact for 4 energy, 2 metal, and 2 colorless. It deals 100 damage, but maybe you need to deal that 100 damage, and you only have 2 energy on your Dialga. Dawn is going to be able to move one of those energy from your bench onto your Dialga. Then you can equip the energy from your energy zone onto your Dialga, and you can hit for 100 with your Dialga in that active slot. So Dawn can allow you to be sneaky with your Dialga EX. If you only have 2 energy equipped on your Dialga EX, the opponent may not be expecting a Dawn. So you Dawn one of those energy from your benched Pokemon, you take the energy from the energy zone and you can hit for 100. So that's going to be extremely sneaky and can finish off one of your opponent's Pokemon extremely quickly. So I do like Dawn in that last spot on this team. So that's the deck. I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's a great deck. Gholdengo is really fun to play with, flipping all those coins, and Dialga can be extremely sneaky, whether you are just turbocharging your bench or you want to hit for 100 with that combo of Dawn. Skarmory is just a great Pokemon in general for metal decks. Equipping a tool on it and dealing 50 damage for just 1 energy is awesome. You equip that Rocky Helm and you can be dealing 70 damage, which is awesome for 1 energy. So I love Skarmory in a lot of different decks. Team Rocket Grunt is going to slow down your opponents. Cyrus is going to make it so your opponent can't hide weakened Pokemon on the bench. I love this deck, but let me know in the comment section what y'all think of it. Are you interested in keeping Gholdengo around when the new meta comes out? Do you love using Gholdengo and the Dialga combination? What would you change about this deck? Let me know in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, peace.